Hey, this is Coach Carroll, and this is just a quick little analysis video about creating scoring chances from anywhere on the field, specifically using simple, efficient passes and well-timed runs. So I am going to look at an old sort of highlight compilation from when I was on JV. Shoutouts to Coach Tanner for having these games up online. You can go find them yourself. You just go on this channel. Um, I think this is a realistic level for us to aspire to, just based on the level of play and the tactics. And like I said, it's very simple, and there's a lot of easy things that this team did really well, which made us really good. Just for reference, this team scored about 4.5 goals per game on average, and we let in about zero point 0.6 goals per game. So as you imagine, we were pretty dominant. So we're going to take a look at some examples of goals and scoring opportunities we got. And I'm going to break down how the different positions are contributing and how kind of everything is flowing together that makes it work. So this clip right here is a great example of transitioning from winning the ball in the middle of the field and playing a through ball. And you'll notice, so this is me right here on the field, number 21. I'm playing center attacking mid, just kind of doing like a light press. This guy on the other team makes a really bad mistake, like a way too weak of a pass. I come in here and pick it off. Um, and immediately you'll notice that my striker up here, Brython, the first thing he does when he sees that I'm going to win the ball, he turns and immediately runs up to the last line of defenders. He starts a diagonal run in between this guy right here and this guy so that he can fill in this space up the middle and just waiting for the right moment to break through. He's in the Another important thing to look at is he is in the spot of this defender. This defender has no idea that he's in there, and he is far enough in front of this guy that he's going to reach the middle of the field first. And so my job is to win this ball and diagonal and play him into the box, and I do so right there. And it's kind of a bad finish. He ends up not making the goal in accident and scores. But if you notice, I step in, I win the ball. I look to the right at my other striker, Owen, and then I look back down at the ball and I play my pass through this gap in the defenders, and he's in. Simple as that. And you'll notice I only take about like 3 or maybe 4 touches to get this ball under control before playing it off. Um, as if I took any longer, they would have either, stepped to this guy, I would have ran out of room, something like that. So it's just about winning this ball, having this guy be proactive enough to get into that space before the defense, and just getting the ball to the right spot at the right time. Easy. Okay, right here is another great example of taking just the right amount of touches and finding the right pass. It's kind of blurry because there's water on the lens, but I'm right here with the ball going towards the right. I think, won it from somebody or got a pass from somebody, not really sure. And I'm going to start dribbling. There's a lot of open space in the middle. You'll notice the defense is really far back, so our strikers are pushed all the way up. As you can see, Owen right here is as far up as he can possibly go without being offsides, which is what I like my strikers to be doing, at least one of them. Um, so yeah, I win the ball. I dribble, I cut across to the middle, take a couple touches, and you'll notice this really nice shape that our attackers have. So I'm here with the ball. We have winger pretty far out wide, winger pretty far out wide. Up in front of them is our two strikers, all backmen, so that they've got this nice arc going, which means that I can play the ball to really any of these four people. They're all a threat at the same time, which makes it really hard for the defense because they have to worry about the strikers first as a priority, which gives the wingers plenty of space down in the corner for me to play. So you'll see I end up playing this ball out wide to Keaton. He's got tons of space on the side, and then you can't really see it off the screen. Um, but he takes a nice touch to the baseline and plays in a beautiful cross, and we end up getting a goofy, easy tap in goal right here. But the focus really here is on everybody getting involved in the play, everybody being an option at once. Nobody's standing still. They're all making a useful run and causing some kind of disturbance among the defense that they have to deal with, which is open elsewhere on the field for me to play this ball to the wing. And it's a great cross too. That's another thing that I like to see is just getting that ball, playing the cross in before the defense has time to, mark up and organize and decide where they're all going to be. And in this case, it works out great. None of them were far enough on the back post to stop this. And yeah, easy goal. So here's a good example of playing the ball out of the back, especially when the defense is very far back. So they're going to have a very deep line on this one. Um, like if we're taking like a goal kick or our goalie has the ball, our center back has the ball way in the back, they're not going to be pressed all the way up to half like they would be if we were transitioning. So this is a really good example of striker movement to get involved in the play and open up. So ball comes into me, take a nice touch. Not a whole lot of pressure, so we're just moving it around, trying to keep the ball in space. You'll notice I'm checking over my shoulder while my teammate has the ball just to see where the space is. I'm in a nice pocket here, so I hang out. Ball comes into me. I check to it. First thought is to look out wide just in case my fullback is here on the wing. Then I look upfield, and you'll notice the defense is really, really far back, like really far back, like farther than they should be probably. And my striker here, instead of going through, is putting his arm down, telling me I can play him to his feet right there in the middle. Because there's this, again, giant pocket of space in the middle that he has identified, and he's going to fill that space so that we can work the ball up the field. My winger is kind of not really open. This is my other center mid. He's kind of not really open, but this is a really, really important role here that my striker right here plays to drop back to the space. So I find him from back here. I play it in. He checks two. He leaves his defender behind. And now all of a sudden, he plays it to the center mid. Center mid cuts it back, plays to him, and we are working our way towards an offensive opportunity. Now, I think what I would have liked here is when this give and go is happening, our defender here should be making a much harder run up the wing, especially given that this winger is cutting inside, drawing the defenders in. I think if he goes and fills in this space, they go 1-2, he should be like up here, and then we can play it up the right like we did in the previous clip. But instead, what ends up happening is our striker just kind of takes the ball himself into the wing and kind of gets a mediocre crossing, but we did end up scoring off this play. But still, a good example of bringing the ball from the back to the front. And honestly, we should have scored because they left this guy wide open and he banged it off the post, but it is what it is. All right, so this clip is a good example of build up starting from the defense, getting all parts of the team involved. And another really important thing to note in this clip is the amount of touches that everyone takes. Something that I think we need to work on a lot is just kind of playing together, playing more efficiently, and just keeping in mind that the ball will move faster than any player if we work together. So kind of an awkward challenge here. It's back to me. I originally want to go pass it back, but the ball skips up on me. I get a bad touch, so I just barely slide it to our other center back. You can see our right back drops to the line, drops to space. He's checking where this defender is, so he knows how far away he needs to be. And as that's happening, our right wing is going over to the line here because if our right back is dropping, the defense is going with him. That opens up space in behind. So you'll see we get the ball wide. He goes to the line. So when this guy steps in, ball goes up the line to him. He turns to the middle, and then same thing. He's there. The defenders are going to cover him. There's space up the line open. You can see my striker pointing with his hand where he wants the ball. It kind of doesn't go where he wants it to. He turns, somehow gets it through to me. Pass up through the space. One time to the right, and a finish. So if we go back and we count the touches from everyone, so for me it's touch, pass, center back, touch, pass, right back, touch, touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass, one time pass through, one time pass to the right, one touch shot. So most of us took no more than 2 or 3 touches. And a lot of them are one-time passes, and you can see the ball does an entire loop from this part of the field over around the outside back to the middle, and the defense can't even keep up. And these aren't even like insanely like clean or difficult passes or anything. It's just people spreading the field, identifying the open spaces that happen when somebody moves, and just kind of playing together. See, if he runs away up the line, that pass becomes way harder to make, but since he turns and comes back, it's a very simple pass, and then there's space still up top because this defender condenses in, and our striker recognizes that and goes to that space. So really the theme here is just move to a space, get the defenders to go with you, and then when your teammates move, recognize what spaces are now open, and fill that space to have easy passing lanes and keep the ball moving. And also just get rid of the ball, find a good pass as fast as you can, and the opportunities will come, especially when the other team makes mistakes like that. All right, here's another clip where we are defending. You can see here's me trying to cut off some passing lanes. 2v1, force him to give up the ball, and we started up from our keeper. This is a situation that's going to happen pretty often, so it's really important to be able to get the ball, from here to, the midfield and hopefully through to the strikers without, too much friction in the middle. So you'll see he kicks it up. We do a good job winning it here. This is my right wing who kind of pinched in for this play. And already you can kind of guess what the path of this ball is going to be. He's got our CDM here, winger is open right here. He turns to face, he looks up, he sees both of them. Simple pass there, and then a simple through pass up to the striker. And all of a sudden, we went all the way from the goalie all the way to the striker in like 4 easy passes. So look, touch, scan, pass, and then pass through. And again, it's each person filling in the space that is left when the defenders move. So this defender moves up. That means that there's space here. Garrett runs into that space. Ball goes to him. This defender steps to the ball. There's space here. Brython runs into that space. And if this ball bounced a little bit better, we probably would have been through and would have had a good chance to score. This is a good example of why heading the ball off of the goal kicks and free kicks is so important. You'll see the other team's goalies here. Michael is going to fight off this guy, win a good header, play it into our striker who checks back for it. And you'll see a great through run here by our winger and a great ball to split that gap. And this is a situation that we will hopefully end up in a lot where we have the ball kind of coming in off the baseline. And the most reliable play here, most of the time, is going to be to cut this ball back towards the penalty spot, even towards the top of the 18 sometimes, because the goalie is going to be rushing you. There's going to be a defender on your side. The most simple way to play this is just to play a ball back on the ground. If you try to if you try to shoot, chances are maybe you win a corner, maybe the goalie hits it out, or you just miss hit at the side netting. And if you try to shoot straight up, maybe you can meg the goalie or somehow beat him high, but most of the time your shot's going to get blocked. So Garrett here does a nice job of just rolling the ball back here through this gap on the ground, and I see that he's going to do that, so I right there, and I end up getting to the ball first and scoring. Another thing you'll notice, my defenders. So this goal is almost entirely this guy's fault. Aside from the rest of the team, letting the buildup happen, not once does this guy look around to see who is in the box with him. He kind of just like runs back to an area, and he is tunnel vision completely on the ball. He has no idea where I am, and that's why I end up beating him. You can see he even fixes his hair right there. Please do not ever do that. You see, he doesn't look around at me. Maybe he checked the far post at some point, but he has no idea I'm here. I identify the passing lane before he does, and it's a good ball, and I just get there first, one-time shot, easy. This is just a simple build-up clip, starting from our outside back. Center back drops so that there's plenty of space. As soon as he sees this ball coming back, he's moving far away from the other team, just so that he guarantees that he will have time once he gets the ball, which he now does. Center back plays to center back, and you can see the trust right here from our right back. He's already pushing up into this giant open space while we have the ball, trusting that we're not going to give it away because we'll make these simple passes, a nice little dummy fake, and all of a sudden, our right back has tons of space to work with. So we play it into him, one touch pass here, one touch pass up to the striker, and all of a sudden we've gone defense to striker in just a few passes and only a few touches per person. Again, count the number of touches. That's a one touch pass, one touch, another touch, then pass, little dummy move, one touch pass, one touch pass, one touch pass, and now the striker has the ball. Okay, here's a good example on how to play like a breakaway situation. You can see the other team has a lot of numbers up, and we have a guy camping the half line, pretty much just staying as far up as he can without being offside, which is another thing another theme that I'm trying to stress here. Ball bounces out. Um, our teammate here does a good job to win it, get it past these two guys, and you can see that it's like a 3v3 pretty much, and so we're going to make some diagonal runs here to try to make space and get the ball up quickly. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's people on our team, either on the bench or back on the field, yelling Owen, telling him to play this ball up through, which he does. Owen staying all the way up on the last man, just forcing him back, and giving the option to really play a deep ball ends up going kind of behind him. But as he does that, other striker comes in and it ends up being a 2v1 situation in which they split up on the far post and the near post. Defense has to commit, try to stop the shot. He plays a great pass. and we finish. Okay, this is another example of a play that I think we could pull off very easily. So we see our winger is kind of stuck on the side with the ball here. Doesn't really have an edge to beat this guy one-on-one. Luckily, one of our center mids comes all the way to the line using the space to make himself an option, and then plays a really nice one-touch pass through the middle here to our other center mid. This is a pass that you can make in rondos all the time. It's very simple but very effective. You can see that he does a good job staying in this gap here between the defenders. He's pointing to the ground, pointing to where he wants the ball, no hesitation at all. And these three defenders are now, kind of useless on the play because he makes that pass. Some more really good runs here, really good stuff in the middle. Our outside winger is getting involved in this play, pinching in, which is good recognition because there's not really any way we're going to get the ball into him behind. So it's better for him to support in the middle. Gets this ball, takes it the other way. And then you see our other winger does the same thing where there's no chance to play the run through. There's no reason for him to be out here on the wing, but there is a giant pocket of space here in the middle of the field. So he's going to check to the ball in that gap and get it. And ideally, I think what he does is take a shot or take a touch towards the middle of the field and then shoot. But he kind of scuffs it up and we do lose the ball. But everything before that was very nice. Okay, this is maybe one of the best examples possible of how I want us to kind of do that dump and chase ball every once in a while. And you can see how it is and how early you can tell what's going to happen. Ball gets played from either a center back, center mid to one of our other center mids. And look, even though he's not even close to the defender, there's this ginormous pocket of space here. He's pointing and calling for the ball already. And what this defender does is really bad. You'll notice that their left back here is backpedaling when he should be turned with his body facing his own net, but watching the ball so that he's ready to go. And you'll see that this kid Adam, he's not running that fast. He's not an insanely fast guy, but since he's already running and this kid is still turned around the wrong way, he's gonna get to the space before him. So we just dump the ball in behind, and you'll see he calls for it. This guy's got his head up, he scans, plays it over the top, and by the time this kid turns around to run back, he's already out of the play because he didn't start running early enough, and we're gonna beat him by a mile. And it's a great finish. Just take it one time, see where the keeper is, and just put it over the top. And then right here is going to be another really good example of that winning the ball in the middle and then making the immediate through run. This might be the best example of them all. So you'll notice there's this scuffle here. There's a lot of bodies in the area, and when there's a lot of people in one area, that means there's a lot of space in another area. So what you'll notice is I'm playing striker in this clip actually because one of our strikers got hurt. This is our other striker right here, Owen. He's going to be important in this development as well. And then this is one of our other center mids. So Chris is fighting this guy for the ball. I'm pinching back because I'm worried it's going to scoot out here and I'm going to want to fill in that space to grab it because no one's there. He wins it clearly, so I turn back, stay in this pocket of space here, and strikers, I want you guys to do exactly what Owen is doing in this clip. So he's kind of with the play. He might be an option here to check, get a ball straight to his feet. We win it. We transition to offense, and immediately he takes off. He's already on the last guy before there's even a chance that somebody's going to pass him the ball. Watch. Chris wins the challenge. Boom. He instantly turns, instantly runs onto the last guy. No question, no hesitation. Um, Chris plays me the ball to my feet. Again, win the ball, pass it out of pressure. I have more time than he does. I take a look. I see that Owen is on the last guy, and I make a nice one-touch pass all the way through, and it's perfectly weighted onto him. He takes one touch, slots it past the keeper. One of the easiest goals you'll ever see. At least we make it look pretty easy. But the key thing to look at is, again, he's running, making a slightly diagonal run in a gap between two defenders where this guy can't see him. He's in his blind spot, and he's in front of this guy, taking him out of the play because they're first. And you'll see the bends his run a little bit so that he is running fast while not being offsides. And then as soon as that pass is hit, he goes to goal, takes off, and he's through by a mile. And just nice composure on the finish. So this is a clip that can easily be replicated, very easily be learned from. Um, taking the ball from our own half in the middle of the field, simple pass, no dribbling, and we're through on goal. And you can tell Tanner liked it because he's clapping it up before we even scored. Okay, so that's going to be all for this video. Hope you guys learned something. Hope it wasn't too boring. All of these games are on Tanner's channel if you want to go back and watch them. Maybe study up a little bit, watch someone who plays your position, or see me cooking, any of the above. Yeah, that's it.